All right, so today we're going to be doing front brakes on a 2016 Chevy Suburban. So I've got a couple of rotors. One is definitely scored that I know of. I've got some ceramic brake pads, and I do have a tie rod end for the driver's side. It is getting very clunky, so I think I've got everything laid out that I might need to do this job. Got my cheapo Harbor Freight impact. I got a different, the one I use for electronic repairs, impact right there. Some brake fluid, a caliper compressor, old school, and some CRC disc brake quiet, and a light back here for videoing stuff. I think I've got about everything sitting out here in the front of my house that I'm going to need, and we're just waiting for a Suburban to park right there. Well, this sucks just a little bit. I didn't realize that the rotors were drilled and slotted, so I just got some OE replacements, and they're just regular rotors. I don't think that she's going to want to spring for the drilled and slotted rotors, but I did get ceramic pads. Here is the problem. I don't know if you can see it up in there if I'm in the way of the light, but yeah, that thing's been metal to metal for a minute and 53.5 seconds. So we're just going to have to take care of it because it's what I've got. And then this tie rod end's got quite a bit of play, so we're going to pop a new one of those on as well. All right, so I've got the caliper bolts both loose, and the caliper bracket bolts are both loose as well. And so hopefully you can see that. So we're going to pull the caliper. I'm going to hang it up here out of the way, and then I'm not sure who did the lift kit on this, but they should be sued. Obviously it needs a possible sway bar bushing or two, I'm not sure, but yeah, look at that. It's only dangling by the brake hose. It looks like they just chopped it. Yeah, you can see the basically saw marks on the bottom of it there. And so it must looks like it was a bracket that mounted on here at one point, and then instead of getting a longer hose, which is what they should have done for a lifted kit, and then look, there's another one right there, same thing. Yeah, not good, people, not good, but it is what it is. Let's get this bracket off here and get it hung up, and get to compressing the piston to get the new old shoes out and the new, or pads I should say, and the new ones in. Well, I'm gonna say that brake pad is used up, metal to metal right there, and then of course it definitely gouged up the rotor. So I've got the new ones on there. We'll clean them with acetone before I put it all back together. Now this side has got plenty left on it. It's not too bad. So I need to look at the slide pins on the caliper, or on the caliper bracket, and make sure. And yeah, they're sliding pretty good. Anyhow, we'll pull them out, lube them up. I'm wondering if some of this hardware was installed incorrectly. I had a heck of a time getting this thing off. It like grabbed onto it and just bound up, but that just may be the way it is. Okay, moving forward. Oh, I think we may have narrowed in on the problem. Look at the rust on that slide pin. I'll get that cleaned up really good, and I'll get the other side down in here cleaned up. I already got this one done, and it's all lubed up, slides nice and easy. So yeah, I believe that slide pin was hanging up, which is why I got uneven wear on those brake pads. Okay, other slide pin all lubed up. Very nice now. They actually spin, which they didn't do before. So I'm gonna knock off this old hardware. We'll give that a quick clean with a stainless toothbrush. Get the new pads installed. We'll wipe this down with acetone, get that caliper bracket reinstalled, and yeah, moving right along. All right, one side is done. All right, on to the passenger side, since I couldn't get that front tie rod end done. So let's see, how is this gonna work? I know they torque these babies way down. See if I can not get in the way of the camera here. Oh man. Yeah, they recommend 80 foot-pounds. Maybe the lift manufacturer recommends possibly a different torque spec. Way over 80 foot-pounds, way over. And that's with the breaker bar. There we go. Whew. I think they just impacted them in, honestly. Now I think the torque spec on these guys is only like 17 foot-pounds. 20, not much. Yeah. Get that one one-handed. There we go. Okay. Now let's see if this one's going to come off. Oh yes, very nice. Let's see. Wrong size. This must be the right size. Sorry if I'm in the way. This one still looks okay. I'm going to replace it anyhow with an OE. Let's take a look at the pads on this side. And they're wearing a lot better on this side. So, oh yeah, slide pin's good. Slide pin's pretty good on that one. We'll lube them up anyhow, just to be safe. And okay, let's get this cleaned up. All right, let's try to get these cleaned up. Once again, it's on the wrong side. And I apologize for the sun. Running all over town trying to find that tie rod end. It was nice and overcast this morning. And of course now it is not. I don't like to put any lube on this just because it attracts dirt and stuff. Makes it sandy and nasty. It is stainless, so I don't believe lube is necessary. We'll go ahead and pop these guys out of here. Oh, that one is rusty. This one's coming out a little bit harder. And we'll clean those up, get some fresh grease on them, and get this thing thrown back together. A little acetone on a paper towel, you know, magic solution acetone. Cleans off all the nastiness. Man, there was like no grease, no lube on these at all. Hopefully you can still see it. It's in frame a little bit maybe. Okay. I'm going to use the cotton swab trick in here just to try to get out any excess stuff. A couple cotton swabs. Wish I had a pipe cleaner that would go all the way down in there. And I think that's going to be good. Hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Give these guys some lube. Nothing super special, just axle grease. Very nice, very free. Put a little extra red on the tip so it smashes out when it gets inside there. Oh yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Okay, let's get the new rotor up on there. We'll put the caliper bracket back on, get the pads installed, and get this baby back on the road. Oh, we still have to compress the pistons. All right, the side with the squeaker goes inside. There's the little squeaker right there. That's your wear indicator. And the non-squeaker side goes on the outside. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I like that. Get those guys out of the way. We'll get the new rotor up on here in one moment. Acetone to remove the grease in manufacturing. There we go. And we'll get the caliper bracket reinstalled, maybe. Get all the residual grease off the face. Okay, now we'll get those torqued up here in just one moment. All right, now it's recording. Okay, got the bleeder open, and I'm just compressing the pistons down. I prefer to do it this way versus pushing old brake fluid back through the system. And I will top off the brake reservoir when all is said and done. Okay, that is it. I'm going to hold this up and make sure we're still bleeding with no air, and we are. Tight, click. Gotta push the boots back into place. There we go. Looks like I might have put grease on them. Okay, where's my disc brake quiet? And the sun came out again, so super high contrast view. All right, disc brake quiet. I've used this for years. Had very good results with it. Basically, it turns into some kind of epoxy over time. It will come off, however. It actually gets rubbery over time. Keeps it from squawking and squeaking. All right, let's see if this will go back together semi-peacefully. So far, so good. Push that slide pin in there. There we go. There it started.
Well, honey, do you remember the dealership's name?
Nope.
Yeah, we don't either. Because Brian's saying that the dealership did it in-house. So
They did.
No, I know, but...
I know they did.
So we need to just figure it out.
I know that. I don't know. We'll have to look through the paperwork. Okay, I get these tightened up and torqued, and we'll get this baby on the road.
Really? So you're done already, even with the rotor?
Yep.
Wow. Good copy. So I got this for nothing, is that what you're telling me?
Maybe.
Okay, it should be down to the wire.
That was my wife. There we go, click. I'm using the good and tight torque spec on these guys, and I did go ahead and torque these to 80. Actually, I went a little bit past 80 on them. Good and tight. Good and tight. Put the cover on the bleeder. Gotta throw the wheel back on this thing, make sure the reservoir's full, and we'll take it for a road test. And I almost forget, while we're here, wish they would have put a cover on this. Let's go ahead and shoot some grease down into this tie rod end. Okay, it's puffing out. I'm happy with that. Oh, really right now? Freaking Zerk's not even tight. Look at that. Can turn it by hand. Okay, so I took it for a test drive around the block. Smooth as butter. Went ahead and checked the air pressure on the tires and everything. They are definitely just fine. No pulsation. Brakes work fine. Filled up the reservoir, and this thing is ready to go back to its owner. All right, well, hopefully somebody enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Well, I think I got everything I might need. We're doing front brakes on a 2016 Suburban this morning. And I got some jack stands, some impact sockets, my cheapo Harbor Freight half-inch impact, some brake clean, some extra brake fluid, some CRC disc brake quiet over here, and outlet to plug stuff into. I got a lamp over here. I'm going to try to shoot a video on this if I possibly can. Drain pan to catch everything over here. And yeah, just waiting for the vehicle to get here. It's going to go right here in the driveway when it does arrive. Okay, on to the tie rod end. Let's see how tight this thing is going to be and whether it's going to cooperate and remove peacefully or not. Oh, wasn't even tight at all. Okay, well, that makes me feel good. Well, let's check this guy. I've just got a crescent wrench here. Move my light a little bit out of the way. And see how tight this is going to be. Not tight, so what I'm going to do is just loosen that up. So the nut is loose, so I can unthread that. And is this going to give up peacefully? Oh, yes, like butter. I'm going to try to leave the nut right where it is. Wow, long-winded. Okay, let me grab the new one. One moment. All right, well, comparing the new one to the old one, it's just a tiny bit shorter on the new one, but as long as it lines up. And I don't think this one's going to work. Nope, the diameter's different. Oh, doggone it. Yep, not gonna happen. Yeah, the cone is totally different. Well, off to another parts store. Well, unfortunately, I was not able to find a replacement tie rod end locally because this has a lift kit in it. It is, all it says on the front of it is RC, and a little bit of Googling indicates it might be a Rough Country branded lift. But this is neither here nor there, so I'm going to go ahead and add some grease to this guy. Until I see the little boot start puffing out. There it goes. So that should be good. Clean up our mess here. There's no cover for that, unfortunately. I did try to spray it off. Now, as far as I can tell, on the top of this ball joint, there are actually some numbers. F as in Frank 22H, and then 1517. And I went to the local four-wheel drive shop here in town, and they didn't know who made the lift, and it's like, well, we really can't do much until we know who actually made the lift. But like I said, neither here nor there. It is reinstalled, it is greased, the boot is puffy, so hopefully we'll be good at that point for a day and a half.